We're in our own backyard this week visiting one of our favorite small towns in Colorado. Well-preserved architecture, interesting shops, hot springs, two waterfalls, unparalleled mountain views, and an abundance of mining history makes this quaint town one of the best destinations in our state. Maybe we're a little biased, but I don't think so. We're jumping off from the little town of Ridgway. The 10-mile drive takes you into a spectacular box canyon. Originally established by miners sinking gold and silver in the surrounding mountains, the town at one time boasted more horses and mules than people. At the height of the mining boom, Ouray had more than 30 active mines. The population peaked at 2,500 in 1890, but today it's less than 1,000. We're here early, so in order to give places a chance to open up, we'll take the short hike to Cascade Falls. The parking lot is at the east end of 8th Avenue. The hike is short, but it's steep and rocky. I stayed at the bottom of the falls, but the hubs took a second trail that will lead you right to the falls. Can you find me? This area is one of many areas you can get on the Perimeter Trail. I'll put a link to the map in the description. It's a 6-mile moderately challenging hike that takes you around the perimeter above Ouray. You can hike this in chunks if you like. Remember, you're at 8,000 feet, so pack water, sunscreen, snacks, and wear good shoes for hiking. Dogs are only allowed on a portion of this trail. Things have had a chance to open up, so we're heading to the old St. Joseph Miners Hospital. The building is now the Ouray County Museum. Opening in 1887 and run as a hospital until 1964, the building is on the National Register of Historic Places. It has 3 floors with 38 exhibits and 27 rooms. Each area is stuffed with good, juicy history. Like I've come to say in each small town we visit, going to museums like this gives you a completely different window to see a town through. Colorado mining towns are interesting. The boom and bust of these places make for good stories, and I love a town with a good story. And it sure doesn't hurt that these places are in some of the most scenic areas in the world. When we paid the entrance fee, we were given a token to watch a Jack Dempsey fight. So cool. Did you know popsicles were invented here? The man did not know what he had. There's a large section on mining operations, and the office from the Camp Bird mine is here. This mine was unique, and we're going to take you to that mine in a future video. Fluorescent minerals have always fascinated me. It's kind of like a magic show. There are stories that Ouray was the scene of violent acts that went beyond the saloon brawls and labor confrontations that most mining towns witness. A couple who violently tortured and killed a 10-year-old girl were jailed. After the townspeople found out, the incensed citizens stormed the jail and hanged the pair. This was the only lynching of a woman in Colorado mining camps. The silver panic of 1893 brought a depression to Ouray until Thomas Walsh discovered the great gold-producing Camp Bird. His running of the mine was unconventional, and his wealth was so extensive that his daughter was able to buy the famed Hope Diamond for what would cost $5 million in today's currency. This place was so big we didn't even make it to the third floor or outside to look at the cabins. The name of this town has got to be the most mispronounced name in all of Colorado. Ouray seems to be the most common mispronunciation. The town is actually named after a Ute Indian who was referred to as the Good Chief Ouray by non-Native American historians. They thought he had wisdom because he agreed to the removal of the Utes to avoid warfare. He spoke fluent Spanish and several Indian dialects and some Pidgin English. A chief, well, not really, but he didn't object to the title and signed the paperwork as such. Otto Mears was a Colorado businessman who played a key role in the removal of the state's Ute Indians. He created more than 450 miles of toll roads and railroads that connected southwest Colorado and became the basis of our modern highway system. Driving on Ouray's dirt side streets is well worth a detour. Residents are proud of their restored Victorian-era homes, and the furry residents feel pretty comfortable here. Some people used to set out hay for the deer. It's actually against the law in Colorado to feed the wildlife because of the unintended consequences it causes. I'm not sure if some still do that. Downtown is, well, wow. The entirety of Main Street is registered as a National Historic District, with most of the buildings dating from the late 19th century. It's a well-preserved town with fun shops and excellent restaurants. I say this sincerely. Okay, maybe I'm a little biased, but don't you think? An alchemist museum is on the main drag too. We've never been here, but it looks really interesting. You'll need to make an appointment for a tour. The Beaumont Hotel was modeled after Denver's famous Brown Palace and considered the flagship hotel of the western slope of Colorado. It sat vacant for a time and is now refurbished and open to visitor stays. Boxed in a canyon, this little town had a rough start. People had a hard life in the beginning. Transportation was a challenge. I wonder if they ever had the chance to take it all in. This area is so beautiful. It's known as the Switzerland of America. It's also the start of one of the most beautiful and scary drives in the US. That's a story for another video. It's lunchtime and we're starving. I wanted to show you a burger place we like, but when we got there, we saw this. This is an ever-growing problem in small tourist towns. Who am I kidding? It's a problem everywhere in Colorado. Makes me sad. So we decided to try someplace new, and even if the food wasn't great, we'd have a good view. Mouse's has become a tradition coming here. Very yummy. I love canyons and I love waterfalls, so it's natural that I'm crazy about Box Canyon Falls. As you drive south out of town, follow the signs. You'll pass the Ouray Ice Park, but of course that's a winter activity. The National Audubon Society declares this area an important bird area because of the North American black swifts that arrive from Brazil in early June and stay until September. I stayed on the main trail in the canyon, but the hubs also took the High Bridge Trail to get a different look. This puts you on part of the perimeter trail, and it's a steep climb. took the trail back to the visitor center. This was the only sign I saw, so I figured it was just a way to handle congestion on stairs during busier times. Fallon Park, or Hot Springs Park, as some call it, is a great open space, and it's a perfect place for town gatherings. Right next to the playground is the Hot Springs pool. We're big fans of hot springs. States in the West have an abundance of these. Of course, you can go anytime, but our favorite time to go is in the winter at night. We bring a wool hat and sit amongst the rising steam under the moody lights. There are 5 spring pools here. You'll find a water slide and lap pools too. If you want a more intimate experience, there's lodging that have their own smaller hot springs. I've put links in the description if you want to check them out. Next to the hot springs is a koi pond fed by the springs. Come by and feed the fish and turtles. It's fun. Just north of the hot springs is the Uncompahgre Riverwalk, a 2-mile loop that follows the river. It's an easy walk with benches and fitness stations sprinkled throughout. Look up as you walk and you can see the remnants of the Gold Hill mine. There's a couple of other things you might want to consider doing while you're here. We recommend touring the Bachelor Syracuse mine. We've done this tour and it's very good and teaches you a lot about mining. Getting on the back roads is a must. We'll take you on many of these rides and talk about the mining history and the ghost towns you'll see there. And there's a climbing park that's free to the public. I've left links to these in the description. If you've liked coming along with us in our travels, please like and subscribe to help our channel grow.
What do you call a fake noodle? Pasta.